Here's why people actually dislike introverts. You probably clicked on this video thinking that I'm gonna start roasting introverts, but the truth is, I'm actually an introvert myself. And very often, other people disliking introverts like us actually has nothing to do with us and all to do with them. For starters, we don't give people free validation. We just don't. And what I mean by that is when someone's talking to you and you just kind of stand there and look at them, they don't know what to think. They can't look into your mind. You're not giving them any social cues. They don't actually understand what is going on. If you stood there at least making some kind of small talk and nodding your head and kind of being like, yeah, okay, makes sense, that's some sort of feedback. But if you're not doing that, well, guess what? They have no idea what you're thinking. As a matter of fact, if you're somebody who's an introvert, you've probably heard this so many times in your life. People telling you or people asking you, what are you thinking? Is everything okay? What's on your mind? And this is especially true with women. Women always want to ask you what's on your mind and what are you thinking, when literally you're not thinking about anything because they can't read you. I've been told so many times by women, I have no idea what's going on up there. And that drives them absolutely crazy. But that's besides the point. In general, all kinds of people, especially the most extroverted, they thrive on social cues, performance, seeing how somebody else reacts, their body language, their tonality. And when you don't give off any of that, they just start getting insecure. I mean, they start looking at you like, bro, this guy's not even here. Is he even listening to me? And they start doubting themselves. They start being introspective. They start being self-aware of what they're saying. They start thinking, is it something I said that he's now not responding? Is he mad at me? And what's more is being silent as an introvert actually causes the other person to hear his own echo. So you're essentially acting like a mirror. You reflect everything they say back at them because you're just standing there listening. But to them, it sounds like no matter what they say, it just bounces back at them. And they have to now overthink and over-explain themselves, even though you haven't even said anything. Not only you haven't said anything, you haven't even raised an eyebrow. You didn't give them any social cue. Your body language is just flat. That's low-key a superpower. Now that I think about it, introverts would probably make for really good poker players, but I don't think Gen Z plays poker very much. It's kind of in the past. Introverts are some of the most perceptive people. We're very empathetic. We notice so many changes in the room, in the environment, because we stay quiet and we observe. And although other people don't really pay attention, that allows us to disappear. We can literally be invisible. Nobody notices us because we are so quiet and nobody can read what's on our mind. But then when it's time to apply or time to shine, somehow the introvert has all the information. They know how everybody feels about each other in the room. They know what everybody else is thinking. They can see the elephant in the room the biggest. They will point out what nobody else has pointed out, but they're thinking. That's what makes them so dangerous. Now, not only that, introverts expose other people's insecurity. A lot of people who are especially loud or extroverted, they need other people around them to feel okay. They don't like being on their own. They don't like to be in solitude. And what breaks their minds the most is when they see introverts perfectly fine being on their own and enjoying themselves, they just can't wrap their heads around that. They have to start throwing insults like, this guy's just a loner, or he has no friends. Look at me, I have 10 different friends around me at all times. Well, that's your crutch. Those extroverts, those people who always have people around them, they're always talking to somebody, sometimes they're the ones who actually feel the most alone because none of those people are real and they're there as a crutch to validate their existence. But as an introvert, guess what? Guess who validates my existence? Me. I validate my own existence. We don't depend on other people to feel like we're alive or to feel that we are us. It's that simple. And the other type of person hates that. They can't wrap their heads around it. It doesn't make sense to them. How could someone be okay being alone? So guys, if this is you, if you're an introvert, embrace it. Yes, some people might low-key feel uncomfortable around you because guess what? When I say people don't like introverts, essentially what I'm saying is we make them feel uncomfortable because we don't constantly buy into their bullshit. They're being performative in a society that's very performative these days, and we are just not performing. Some of us don't even have the skills to perform. We don't know what it's like to be socially normal. We make situations awkward, but usually we don't even feel it. We're cool. We're just like, I'm gonna be quiet and that's okay. And the other person's like, why is it quiet? This silence, this social tension is killing me. I can tell you this from my own experience. I used to test this exact theory of which person is gonna break the social tension. When somebody is standing there silent, which party feels awkward? And when I used to go and knock on people's doors, at first it was very awkward because it's like, what am I doing here? You know, who the hell are you? But once I got comfortable with that, I remember just standing there. A person opens their door and I just look at them. That was, I'll be honest, that's the weirdest shit ever. But the funny thing is, how much social tension can you handle before somebody breaks the silence and they're like, what? This is awkward. So once again, if this is you out there, if you're an introvert, just know this, that's actually a superpower. And you don't have to pretend to be extroverted. I'm recording this video right now and I'm an introvert. I don't really even like speaking to people, but yes, it's possible to come out of your shell sometimes. You can train yourself to do so, but ultimately being introverted is just a superpower. It absolutely is. If you guys feel like you can relate to this video, feel free to like it, subscribe. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next one.